Just a quick reminder, guys, to go check out the Silly Buggers channel. We're doing a lot of content over there. Things are being changed up, so there might not be as much content this week as usual. But yeah, things are going to be different on there starting this week. So yeah, go check it out. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love doing this subreddit. It's a lot of fun. I'm not going to say the name of the subreddit, fearing monetization. But yeah, this subreddit's a lot of fun. If you have any other subreddits you want me to do, let me know in the comments down below. And thank you. Am I the silly bugger for telling a social worker the real reason my sister wants a foster kid? So this is a throwaway account. While my sister doesn't use Reddit, we have mutual friends who do. I'm a 28 female and I have a sister, 36 female. For the sake of the story, I'll call her Jan. Jan is married to Bob and they have 2 kids, boy and a girl. My niece and nephew are wonderful kids and no trouble at all. They fight as siblings do, but nothing big. I love them. Now, for about 2 years, I did live with my sister. It was a miserable time that really affected our relationship. She saw me as free labor, money, and babysitting. Even then, I managed to get a small part-time job. She demanded I hand over nearly half of the pay or get out. It was hell, as she took complete advantage of me. I moved out as soon as I could, and we have little contact outside of family gatherings. Now, after I moved out, she started complaining how she has no help with the kids and never gets a break. I babysit sometimes, but I have made it clear, just because I'm off work doesn't mean I want an 8-hour day with my niece and nephew. Anyway, she started talking about how she wanted to foster a kid. Not a kid, but a teenager. I pressed her for more info on this. She wants to adopt a teenager, so she has a live-in babysitter for her kids. This is her logic. I want a kid around 16 or 17. You know, someone who may have been in the system for a while. They can share a room with your nephew, or sleep in the garage. They can help me with housework, chores, cook, and help me with my business. Also babysit the kids for me, so Bob and I can go out sometimes or have some alone time. They'll be so grateful for a home and won't complain. I won't have to pay them at all. And then when they turn 18, I can just sign up for another foster kid. A teenager will be much easier than a little kid. They'll be grateful just to have a roof, food, siblings, if they have been separated from their real ones, and clothes. I was horrified, told her it was a horrible idea. She didn't listen to me. She went on with it anyway. About a month ago, a social worker showed up to my apartment and asked me some questions about my sister. She had put me down as a character witness or something like that. I immediately told the social worker why my sister really wanted to foster a kid and how she treated me when I lived with her. The lady thanked me. My sister called crying, saying that she wouldn't be considered for any adoptions or fosters. The social worker told her that she felt her home and her weren't a good fit. She asked if I said anything, and I told the truth. She went off on me, hang up, and we hadn't spoken since. She has sent some angry texts. A couple family members are on her side. They think foster kids are dogs or something. I would be so happy just to have a roof and would gladly do all the housework. So, am I the silly bugger? Yeah, you are. You're perfectly within your rights to tell the social worker how your sister intends to abuse and use kids. Holy hell. How has this person convinced themselves that it's okay to basically get a child slave? How have they done that? That's horrible. Look, I'm not trying to be rude here. I know that kids aren't always exactly a planned for thing, but if you're going to have kids, maybe just accept the fact that your social life is going to be a bit different and that you're going to need to spend money on a babysitter sometimes. Okay, maybe just accept that fact, please. Please? Am I the silly bugger for not saying anything about the underwear? My 20-year-old daughter and her fiance are currently staying with us. I love my daughter, but she is very difficult and I can't stand her fiance. I gave them a deadline to move out because I can't take this anymore. I got into a massive fight the other day while my wife was out. I guess a pair of my wife's underwear got in with their laundry and she thought he was cheating. I think the fact she immediately jumped to cheating shows how bad their relationship is. She was waving the underwear around and I recognized them because they had a floral print, but I just let this ridiculous fight go on. My wife came home after about 30 minutes and said they were hers. My wife asked me if I didn't realize they were hers and I accidentally laughed. My daughter burst into tears and won't talk to me. Her fiance said we're and left the house, but my wife thought it was funny. Yeah, I think this is a real douchebag move, and you are definitely the silly bugger here. You should have come clean right away when you noticed, because it doesn't really matter how horrible their relationship is. If you're intentionally doing this to try and stir the pot, that makes you kind of a douchebag. And listen, I'm sure you think you're just doing what's right. Sitting on something like this and her throwing out cheating accusations is kind of horrible and unfair on the fiancé, no matter how much you dislike him. Am I the silly bugger for giving my wife an ultimatum about getting a dog? I had a dog when my wife and I got married. I loved her. She was my buddy. When my wife got pregnant, she became increasingly paranoid that the dog would be a danger to the baby. She brought up rehoming and I refused. She was an aggressive breed, but she was trained. One day she called me crying at work that the dog had run away and that she couldn't run after her. I believed her. I looked for the dog for weeks. I finally just accepted it because we had to go to the hospital to welcome our child and there were just other pressing concerns. It's been 5 years since then, and now we have 3 children. I've wanted to get a new dog, but the kids take a lot of energy and time. My wife always has an excuse not to get another dog. I found out recently that my dog didn't run away. My wife and her father took the dog to the pound while I was at work because her parents agreed with her about the dog being dangerous. I'm furious. She was my dog, my baby. She wasn't dangerous. I would have never agreed to that. She probably never got adopted. I'm honestly mad enough to consider a separation, if not for the kids and practical reasons. I've told her that the only way to make it up, even a little bit, is for us to get a dog. She ultimately doesn't want to get a dog and complained that she would have to do too much with it. I'm not planning to let up on this one this time. Yeah, listen, buddy, she's not the one. If someone is willing to take your dog to the pound without your permission and then lie about it, yeah, I would not trust them with my children. That's for sure. What if the kids become an inconvenience? Is she just going to throw them in the pound? Yeah, I understand that you have kids with her and it's therefore not exactly an easy thing to separate, but this is borderline the worst thing I've seen on here as far as like what a partner has done to another partner. This is genuinely horrible. Yeah, I would never trust anyone if they did this to me. Never again. Am I the silly bugger for telling my son's girlfriend that she is stupid? I have 2 adult children. My daughter has a 5-year-old daughter, and my son's girlfriend is pregnant with their first child. I've always got the impression that she doesn't like me, but that's fine. I don't like her either, but we are civil for my son's sake. I'm Brazilian. I grew up in Brazil, and I go back once or twice a year to visit family. I had both of my children over last night, and I mentioned that when it was safe to travel, I will be taking my granddaughter to Brazil for the first time. My son's girlfriend said that she doesn't want her child going with me in the future, which is fine. Her hypothetical child was never invited. Then she said she doesn't want her child exposed to that culture. I asked what she meant by this, and she said she is worried about her daughter growing up around my culture because I've had multiple plastic surgeries. My daughter got a boob job for a graduation gift. And I'm vain. Brazil does have a reputation for being the plastic surgery capital of the world, but it's not like I'm taking a 5-year-old to get a consultation. It is also a beautiful country with culture that goes far beyond plastic surgery. I told her she is incredibly stupid, borderline racist, and she doesn't have to worry about being taken on any trips. My husband said maybe we should take her and get something done about her chin. I did tell him this was an asshole thing to say. My son now wants me to apologize for calling her stupid. I kind of think in this one, everyone is kind of at fault here. It seems like the girlfriend is very ignorant and the mother's a bit standoffish. That's my thoughts on it. I don't think there's much more to say. So yeah, everyone just kind of sucks. Am I the silly bugger for not letting my dad use my car until my parents pay for my broken laptop? I, 19-year-old male, started letting my little brother borrow my laptop when his school switched to online. He'd use it during the day and then I would pick it up after work. I live in the apartment right next door to my parents, so it was no trouble. After he went on vacation, they asked if he could keep using it so he's entertained at home, and I let him. 3 weeks ago, he broke it going down the stairs. That laptop cost me almost $600, and I was mad. My parents said they were sorry, and I told them as long as they paid me back for a new one, it's alright. My mum told me that they're not going to spend that much money on a laptop, and I should have bought a cheaper one anyways. We sort of got into an argument over it, but my parents still refused to give me any money. A week goes by and they still don't want to pay. It's not like they can't afford it. They're both still working their regular hours. They literally had enough to do a whole barbecue and buy a ton of fireworks on the 4th of July. My online classes are supposed to be starting in August, and I'm getting impatient because I really don't have enough to buy a new one myself. I'm barely keeping up with my bills, and I've had to cut back on how much I spend on groceries. So I decided to stop letting my dad use my car to go to work in the mornings. He's been using it since last year because my mum uses their car, and my job isn't that far away. Plus, I don't drive a lot. Usually, I stop by their house before I go to work and leave my car keys for him by the door since he leaves after me. The night before, I texted him and said he's not driving my car anymore until I get my money, so he'll have to find another way to get to work in the morning. Next morning, he was banging on my door. He started yelling in my face about what an ungrateful, spoiled child I was, all because of a laptop. He ended up having to take an Uber when he realized I wasn't going to change my mind. Every day since, they both fight with me over the car because he doesn't want to waste his money on an Uber. They've been calling me names and blowing up my phone, and it's starting to overwhelm me. I have no peace at home because they're always standing right outside my door when I get home, and my dad yells at me every morning. I've already told them that if they give me money for my laptop, I'll let him use the car, but they still don't want to. They say they shouldn't have to pay because they took care of me my whole life, and the least I could do is not make it hard for my dad to get to work. It's gotten real hostile here, and I don't know what to think anymore. Am I being a silly bugger for going about it this way? Not at all. It is well within your right to not let them use your property after they've shown a pattern of destroying your property without paying for it. There is no reason on this earth why you should ever let them use your car until they've given you the money for your laptop, because it kind of just proves that if something does happen to your car, they don't care. They're not going to try and fix it. It's not their fault. It's not their problem. They raised you, so it makes it all magically okay. That's just not how it works. You break somebody's property as an adult, you pay for it, and you get them something to either replace it or to fix it. That's just how you do it. And if you don't, you can get sued. You can go to jail for this type of stuff. You can get in a lot of trouble for it. Your parents are being really immature. And yeah, I would remind them that you shouldn't have to lend them your personal property. And if you do lend them personal property, they have to replace it if they break it, because it's as simple as that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about these down below. I've numbered like the posts, and I'll probably even do it in the description so you can see exactly like what number. Just let me know if you think what I think is correct, if I'm being too harsh or being too suki, I guess. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Give me an answer down below, because I really enjoy these videos, mainly because of the interaction with you guys, like seeing what you guys think about this stuff. It makes these videos a lot more enjoyable to make. Anyway guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys when I see you guys. And remember, drink Red Bull.